Hi, my name is Sonia Park. I am the Executive Director of the Diverse Charter Schools Coalition. So we are a coalition of intentionally diverse charter schools. Right now we have 71 member school networks, which total over 211 individual charter schools over 22 states and DC. I'd like to also take this opportunity to thank Charter School Capital for giving me the time and the space to talk about the work that we do, and also for your generosity in supporting our last convening, which happened in January. So one of the first things that people do when they ask me about our coalition is, what do you mean by diverse by design? And so what we mean is that a diverse by design school is a school that has part of its core values is to create an intentionally diverse school setting. And when we say diverse, we don't prescribe that it needs to be 15% this or 30% that. It's really a reflection of the district where the school is located, and that there is a effort to bring many different student types together within that school community. So a diverse school in LA will look very different from a diverse school in New Orleans versus New York City. And that's okay because it's really about the diversity of students and staff within that building. So the work that we do at the Diverse Charter Schools Coalition is really to support our members. And we do this in three ways: through direct support, through expansion, and through promotion. So the FEP of our work. So the support work looks like when our members come and join the coalition, some of them have really thoughtfully been founded on creating a diverse school community. Others have come to the work through happenstance. So instead of being diverse by design, they're diverse by chance because of shifting demographics and other things that happen around them. But they've leaned into the work because they realize things are happening and we want to make sure that we are serving our community as well as possible. So through the mix of our members, we support them by making sure that they have peer-to-peer connections, and we do this through establishment of communities of practice where members can come together and look at, intentionally about certain aspects of their work within the schools. We also do this with our annual convening. Again, thank you for sponsoring our last one. And that really highlights what's happening within the school. And our sessions, which we're really excited and proud about, majority of our sessions are actually led by our members. So that's another opportunity for real peer-to-peer sharing and learning. And then we also support our members by making sure that they have an established network of other folks that they can talk to. So oftentimes leaders feel that they're isolated uh, in their work. The expansion piece is that we help to expand the Diverse by Design movement of schools by growing new schools and by helping existing schools expand or replicate. And that's a highlight of our work. And we do this through our fellowship program where we place a promising school leader in a member school for up to a year, so they learn what it takes to run a school from the ground up, with the end result being that they open up a new school or they replicate or grow and expand the school. And the last piece is promote. And we do this by highlighting the work that the schools are doing on the ground, sometimes to change the charter narrative that may be out there that could be anti, and really focusing on this great school that's doing great work and why it's so important to continue to support that work. Especially within this past year, a question has been coming up about the reasons why, the necessity why we are heavily invested in creating intentionally integrated communities and having not just an intentionally integrated student-based community, but also reflecting of the entire everyone that touches the school, staff, leadership, and board members. And the reason why is that for our country to get better, we have to know how to talk to everybody, not just the person who looks like us, but the person who may be different, who may come from a different background, that who may speak another language, who may have another set of values. But for us to continue to grow as a country collectively, we have to break down these silos because, again, looking at this past year, when we build those silos, it ends up being incredibly divisive. It ends up in violence, and it ends up in further marginalizing already marginalized populations. It's important for us to make sure that students know how to talk to each other, that don't always look like like themselves, that have different backgrounds, that have speak different languages, come from different cultures, and may have different values. For us to progress as a country, we need to make sure that we know how to talk to each other. We don't have to agree, but we at least know how to talk to each other. And as we've seen this past year, when we further marginalize already marginalized populations, when we build and reinforce these silos, it leads to further divisiveness and it leads to violence, which we've seen. So I strongly believe, and our members believe, that there is urgency in creating these spaces. Does that mean that every one of our members are where they need to be in regards to diversity, equity, and integration? Absolutely not. I don't think you can talk to any one of our school leaders to say, like, we've got this, that we've done everything, we've checked all the boxes. This is a constant process. And our members are across the spectrum about their journey to getting to better. And we have a number of leaders, and I'll be quite frank, that are not diverse. We have a lot of schools that have been founded by white leaders, and they sometimes have joined the coalition because they recognize that there needs to be work personally and within their organization. They're here to learn. And we've had members that have come to us because they have heard from their staff that this is something that could be good for them without really recognizing that as a leader, as a white leader of an organization that is serving predominantly Black and brown kids, that I may be out of step with everything else that's going on. And so we're working with everybody to get to that point of understanding that no matter where you are, you have to recognize that there is a way to incorporate everybody into the conversation that doesn't have to be confrontational, but it does necessarily have to happen. Another thing that I want to make sure that comes across when we talk about diversity is that it's not just looking at race, we're looking at things across the board. So, um, race, ethnicity, socioeconomic status, language ability, physical and students with disabilities, and also looking at gender balance. So when we look across all of our member schools, we want to see that even though they may not be where they want to be, they're making concerted efforts to get there and get that not just a balance, but representation. I think that's a really important key element of the work that we support our members to do is the representation. Kids learn best when they feel like they're accepted, and that's a key element about making a intentionally diverse school work is the recognition of where students are, that they feel accepted and comfortable in the space, and then staff also feel that way. And the leadership has to be mindful of those things too. And I hope this gives you an understanding about the work that we do. You can learn a lot more by going to our website. You'll see information about who our members are, our annual reports, and some of our upcoming work that we intend to do. And I would be thrilled also if you reach out to me directly because I would love to continue this conversation.